Good evening. Today's Tuesday, July the 29th.
I'm Bruce Turner in Lynchburg, Virginia.
I'm Jeff Zayas on the Best Coast in Napa, California.
I'm Robert Taylor in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hey, I'm Duke Carrico on this edition of Tech and Coffee's Android Journal, the Motorola Nexus Shamu, T-Mobile Family Plan. Is this a good deal or not? And will Tizen actually become a phone OS? Hey, man, all this more and our app picks. Good evening, everyone.
Woohoo! Good evening, Mr. Duke.
All right, so, guys, we had some weather here at my house a couple of nights ago. You know, they say that if you're ever close to a tornado, it sounds like there's a train a-coming, you know? Well, let me tell you something, guys. I heard the train coming Sunday night, and yeah, 3 tornadoes probably within a well, one tornado was about 1.5 miles from me, but in total 3, I guess, within about a 10-12 mile radius. And hey, man, that was not very pleasant.
I got to ask you some questions. Did you see any sharks? I mean, Sharknado, did you see any sharks spinning around in that funnel cloud?
I've got a creek here in the backyard, and when everything was all said and done, I'm back there feeding the dogs to the sharks now, back here in the creek in my backyard. It's great. Yeah. All right, man. Hey, how's everybody doing this week?
Good. Good.
Bingo.
It's gorgeous summer weather here for you and I, Duke. I mean, it's 76 degrees here right now. It was 57 this morning when I got up.
Yeah, it's almost like spring instead of dead of summer. I don't know what's up here. I'm not complaining about it though. Of course, in Napa, California, it's hot. You can't even go watch people perform on the front porch.
No. You know, we don't have tornadoes. We have tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes.
Yeah, I love the music on that porch festival that you posted about. That was great.
Yeah, you know, it was very interesting. You know, it's kind of, I guess they have them in other cities as well. So there was like 150 different bands playing on porches. It was crazy. It was fun. Anyways.
And if they played on a wraparound porch, it would of course be rap, right?
Hey guys, let's talk about the week's Android news. We're going to kick it off here. First of all, you know, so much in the mobile world, you know, when we talk about news, it's normally a rumor of some kind. And the latest rumor is that, hey, finally, Motorola will be making the next Nexus device. And this next Nexus device supposedly has been outed as being a 5.9-inch screen. By the way, this is the information that started this rumor, I guess. But a 5.9-inch screen. You know, guys, on one hand, I'm happy that Motorola finally is going to get a crack at this because, hey, I'm a fan of Motorola and their devices. I've owned a few in the past. I think, Robert, you and Jeff do at present.
Correct.
But you know, 5.9-inch device, I'm not sure about this. Jeff, jump in here, man.
Well, you know, anything that makes my hand look smaller is not a good thing. That's all I got to say. No, I mean, it's just something that, again, you know, when do you stop, right? You know, I mean, when do you stop? And it's a good thing for Lenovo to, you know, get this and partner it up with, you know, and according to the rumor, this was something that was decided perhaps at the sale time of Motorola to Lenovo, and probably, you know, factored in a little bit. So, but you know, I was thinking about it. You know, what happened to Shamu? Didn't he die? I mean, the real Shamu. Isn't he dead? So, you know, maybe they should come up with something else, like, you know, some other gray whale thing. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't buy it. It's too big.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that. 5.9-inch screen. To me, if this is true, I think it's going to alienate a lot of Nexus customers. So, Robert, do you think there might be a possibility that we actually see the Apple move? That maybe we might see two Nexus devices come this fall?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, historically, it's one device, one carrier. That's just been it. I don't know that we'll see a second one, but it is interesting to see that Google held Motorola for how long, and Motorola got passed over for Nexus devices for other manufacturers. Now all of a sudden, Motorola doesn't belong to Google anymore; it belongs to Lenovo, and now all of a sudden they get it. I'm just kind of baffled by that. Will we see two Nexuses? I don't know. Nexi? Is it Nexuses or Nexi? Who knows? But I don't think so. I think we'll just see the one.
Hey, Bruce, I know that you've been very, very fond of your Samsung Galaxy Note 2. If this rumor is true, do you see yourself maybe going to that vanilla Google experience with that beautiful 5.9-inch display?
Oh, you're reading my mind. You know my heart. This drives me more toward a pure Android Nexus device. The subtitle on this article is Android Silver's Future Uncertain. That's because this is Android Gold right here. It's going to compete well with the Note 2. I don't blame Google coming out with a Nexus device of the phablet size at all. They're going to compete with the Notes. They're going to compete with this new LG, super big phone and stuff like that. So I think it's a good move. And as far as you Nexus guys, that Nexus 5, if it's as good a phone as you guys have been touting it, you can wait a year to update. You don't have to, stay with it.
I think that's kind of the point, though, is that the Nexus 5 is still a hot phone. It's still relevant, still got good specs. This is just the bigger brother. It's not like a big leap and jump in technology.
Yeah, and if they incorporate some of the Moto X features into this Motorola Nexus phablet, it is going to be a fabulous phablet.
A fabulous phablet. I like
That's
that.
Right.
Fabulous phablet.
Yeah, but don't it's like having a Nexus 7 in your pocket.
Well, it's a phone. If the Nexus 7 would have had an LTE radio in it, I might have had it a long time ago.
I don't know, Jeff. I mean, when you see the folks with the Note, and you see the phone by itself, it really does look humongous and seems like it would be awkward. But playing with it and holding it in your hand, you become pretty accustomed to it pretty quick, and it's not as big as what it appears.
I've grown accustomed to your face. Look at that. That doesn't look. That's what looks awkward about that. I mean, it's my life.
So I think that sweet spot between 5.5 and 6 is still manageable. It's phablet, yes, but I think it's still manageable. And then to be a true Nexus device, which you and I, Jeff, we're going to talk about that in a couple of articles a little bit later. I mean, there's some love for Nexus simply because it's pure.
Yeah, no, there's that pure intrinsic love, but well, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see what it looks like, and we'll see what the sales do, and we'll see what the price point is, because that price point has to be legitimate, right?
Well, I think it's a very good point, Jeff. I think to this point, the Nexus has been very reasonably priced, and maybe it's not the best device in every category, but it's certainly in the top 3 to 5 when it debuts. Okay.
Yep.
And let's not forget that most people like the Nexus because not only is that pure Google experience there, but those Nexus devices are always the first with the updates.
Yeah.
So any new features that come down the pike, guess what? You get them, and that's a big appeal to a lot of Google users. You know.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, because you want the latest and greatest, and and you'll be the first one with Android L, right? I mean, it'll be the first one out there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, man. Robert, you mentioned it. Let's go ahead and move there. First of all, AT&T, Sprint, and Verizon all have their family plans, okay? And most of them hit around the $160 mark, and that includes 4 smartphones, okay, to share 10 gigabytes of data, and some various texting and talk plans. Okay, well, T-Mobile, to better compete with that, announces yesterday that they're going to come out with a very, very, very similar plan, but it's going to be $100 a month. Okay. Now, Robert, given that Verizon has recently announced that come October they're going to start throttling a lot of their unlimited data users who were grandfathered in on an unlimited plan, what do you think, man? Is it time to jump ship to the T-Mobile data plans?
Well, I thought it was just amazing that, just a day or two after Verizon announces they're not doing throttling. They're going to call it network optimization, okay? And so they're saying we're not throttling. All we're doing is we're going to reduce your speed if you're using more than 4.7 gigs of data a month, and if you're on a crowded tower. Well, tell me or show me the specifications of what a crowded tower is. You don't know what that is.
When you're on a crowded tower, does Verizon tell you in any form or fashion?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for the consumer to prove that. I'm with you.
Right. So the bottom line is that they make this big announcement. They had been doing it for 3G customers. Now they're expanding it to the 4G, the LTE, and right after, here comes T-Mobile saying, guess what? You know what? We're gonna raise the bar again, and we're gonna drop our 10 gigabyte plan to $100. And I have to tell you, there's another part of dealing with Verizon that I happen to be having an issue with at this moment. But the bottom line is I don't have a contract. I bought my last phone outright, full price. And now Verizon is telling me, you know what, we really don't care that much about you. We really want to restrict what we said we were going to give you before we're not going to give you. It makes T-Mobile look pretty attractive. But, and you pointed this out, that 10 gigabytes of data is not shared. It's 10 gigabytes of data spread across 4 lines, and each line only gets 2.5 gigabytes of data.
All right. And
I didn't realize that. So now that gives me pause.
Well, just here, let me just run this down here. First of all, this $100 plan gives you 4 phones, supposedly unlimited talk, text, and data, and we need some clarification on what unlimited really means on this. On the 4G LTE, it's 2.5 gigabytes per line. Okay, not 10 gigabytes shared across 4 lines, but 1 line, 2.5 gigs. All right, no overages on the data. See, this confuses me because I'm pretty sure that if you're limited to 2.5 gigs and you use 5 gigs, you've doubled what they're saying they're giving you. Anyway, tethering is included. This is up to 5 gigabytes of tethering per month, right?
Yes. In addition to the 2.5 gigs you get 5 gigs of tethering that does not even count.
Okay. Then you've got international unlimited data and text in 120 countries. Music. Of course, they were already offering this. You can stream music, and they don't count it against your data usage.
Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Google Music, all of those included. No additional. That doesn't burn any data at all.
All right, I'm spending about on AT&T about $170 a month. Okay, 2 phones. One of them is unlimited, but I'm still throttled. I start getting throttled about 5 gigs, and but you know, to me, a heavy month would be 8 gigabytes of data used in a month. So, guys, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this long and hard. Bruce, what about you?
Oh, I'll guarantee you it looks good, especially if you're an AT&T customer and you're on the GSM phone. It makes a really nice switch. You know, my wife and I are on a shared plan with AT&T. We have the 10 gigabytes, and it's not divided. It's shared between us. So one of the reasons I moved from my unlimited grandfather plan to this plan, because not only am I saving money, I'm saving $40 a month, but now because like Robert was talking about, I would start getting throttled at 5 gigabytes. And when we talk about throttles, we're talking about going from LTE speed down to 140 kilobytes per second.
Yep.
We're talking about major throttling. So my wife doesn't use a lot of data, so I come out on the good here, and so we share it together. So it's been a good move for me. I'm curious to see if T-Mobile surely has some kind of an alternative. They're not saying, and I guess this is a question, are they saying you have to have 4 phones? What if it's just a husband and a wife and you've got 2 phones? Can you get 10 gigabytes to share between 2 of you for $100? Why couldn't you?
I want to find out, because I am actually going to call tomorrow, and I will report back here on Android Journal what I find out, because I am specifically looking at this. And are you listening, Verizon? Okay? A company contract is getting ready to walk away, and not only my plan, but I am going to recommend swapping plans to all of the hotels that I support, simply because of this move. I think it is that bad. It's such a poor decision on the part of Verizon that they're going to affect their customers this way. You don't say you're going to deliver one thing and then halfway through the game change it up and say you're going to do something totally different.
Hey, Jeff, I mean, you look at Robert with that red shirt on. Wouldn't he look good in a pink shirt? I mean, come on, be honest. What do you think?
I think so. I think he would. And a pink motorcycle, you know, what
Absolutely.
the heck, go all out. But,
Real men wear pink.
Exactly, we do. But for me, I have 3 people on my shared plan, and I pay $156 a month. But we share minutes, 700 minutes, which is more than adequate because everyone I know is on Verizon. But what I don't like about Verizon is the idea of what they're doing now is the throttling, and and it's just going to be indiscriminate because you won't really know, like you said, what's are you really accessing it at peak times on a tower that's heavily hitted, or is it just because you hit your threshold that they throttle you? You just don't have any belief structure in what they say. So, but for me, again, if I could save $50 a month, cut my costs almost in half. Golly gee, that's just golly gee, that's a good American phrase, huh? Isn't that perfect? I mean, and get unlimited talk and text, which I never use anyways. But yeah, and kudos to T-Mobile for doing this. They constantly shake up the marketplace, and it's good for the marketplace. It's good that they are doing this.
And it is good for the market. I think the problem is that T-Mobile has their coverage areas are a little weak, and I am going to advise any listener who if this is less than what you're paying a month, the very first thing that I'd do would be to start checking. Don't necessarily, even though I'm sharing a link right now on T-Mobile's plans, they have some links to where you can see their map. I've always found these maps, no matter who it is, to exaggerate just a little bit. But anyway, hey, real quick here, guys. I'm looking at one plan here, 1 gigabyte of 4G data that it's going to include unlimited talk and text, $50, a 3 GB plan for $60. This is going to be one line, I'm sure. A 5 GB plan for $70, and unlimited for $80. Now they do have a 2-line plan that's $80 a month. Line 1 is charged at $50 to give you up to 1 GB of data, and speeds are throttled after.
I think we lost him there. I think he just got throttled.
After.
So, Duke, I think either the Hangout is throttling itself, or you just got Verizon. Your Verizon plan just heard, NSA heard about you, and that was it.
He's being throttled.
They throttled him because he was talking about T-Mobile. The last plan that Duke was talking about, I actually looked into it. There is an $80 a month plan that's truly unlimited everything per line. The $80 a month plan that Duke was talking about that had 2 lines, one line had 1 gig of data, and the second line had, I think, 200 megabytes of data. So it's kind of like one smartphone and one feature phone type situation. It may not work in the case of a husband and a wife who both have smartphones and need a little bit more data, but I, like Bruce, my wife uses very little on her phone. We tend to use my phone for more things, and obviously I do more Hangouts, and so I right away consume a lot of data.
So we're no longer live.
Yeah, it says live.
It says live up there, so yeah. So he's back.
He's back.
All right, good.
So we should get a Tech and Coffee line,
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Get 4 lines here, 4 Tech and Coffee lines. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. If it doesn't make a difference, you got 3 phones or 4 phones, would you get another phone and use it as a business line exclusively?
I mean, I could. In my particular circumstance, both of my boys are pestering me, to get new phones, and so if I had to take 4 phones, I could. But can you imagine the data usage by Jonathan, my 13-year-old? I mean, leave the throttling on that one. Once he crosses 2.5 gigs, he's out of luck for the rest of the month. But I wonder if where it says unlimited data, someone had suggested, Duke or Bruce, that perhaps they drop you down to 3G speed. But even 3G speed is better than some of the throttle speeds that I've heard from AT&T customers saying once they get throttled. I mean, Bruce, you said 150 kb. I mean, you can't do anything with that. You can't watch a video. You can't watch YouTube. Forget Hangouts. That's out of the question.
Yeah. And I'm sure Duke would agree, wouldn't you, Duke?
Yeah.
What Robert said.
Yeah. Well, look at, for example, look at Bruce right now. He's tethering, right?
Right.
Through LTE right now, and it's fine. It's absolutely perfect.
Right, but he is consuming, in this hour that he is on, he is probably consuming between 700 and 800 megabytes.
Yeah, no, he's probably 720 up, right? And I don't know what down would be.
No, 700 to 800 megabytes of his data plan he will consume over this hour. So that's a lot.
Yeah, I'm at 32.75 down and 6.28 up right now on AT&T's LTE here in Lynchburg.
Excellent.
All right, hey guys, sorry about that. I think AT&T got mad at me and they hacked into my charter and killed my bandwidth.
Yeah, you know what they did? They probably decided to alter the weather and call up a tornado near you.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Hey, let's move on, man. Let's talk about the new cell phone unlocking law. First of all, back in 2012, suddenly it was illegal to unlock a phone. And, we all thought that was pretty stupid when that happened. Library of Congress. What in the world does Library of Congress have to do with my cell phone? Tell me. But anyway, hey, without rehashing all of that, Obama actually signed a law that is worth something, and it's now not illegal to unlock your phone. Okay? And what this is supposed to mean is that you can supposedly now take your phone with you to other carriers once you're out of contract. Hey, Robert, does this mean anything at all to the end user consumer?
It does. Okay. On one hand, this is an easy law to get behind. Okay. This is one of those laws that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, where it's illegal to lock your phone. And of course, a politician wants to get on the good side of his constituents. And yes, I stood up for this. And it's easy to do the flag waving for that. For the consumer, trying to go from carrier to carrier, just like we were talking about with T-Mobile. Jeff and I both are out of contract, I believe. Both of us have phones with Verizon. If we decided to leave and go to T-Mobile because we're done with Verizon and their foolishness about network optimization or throttling, we can't take our phones with us. Why? Because Verizon refuses to unlock the phone. Matter of fact, I called Verizon and said, I bought my phone outright, full retail price. I want it unlocked. My phone has radios that I can use it on GSM or CDMA, but I need you to unlock it so the carrier that I go to can program my phone for their network. They refused. They pointed the finger at Motorola. I called Motorola. Motorola pointed the finger back at Verizon. The end result, 2 hours later, I still have a locked phone that I just paid $600 for that is now totally useless. And I'm still going to leave and go to T-Mobile, and I'm going to buy another phone because I'm that mad about it. This law makes it so that carriers can't do that to people. You need to fight on the quality of your service, not by locking people in with crazy loopholes and obscure laws that make no sense. This is my device. I own it. You don't have the right to tell me what I can and can't do with it. It's like saying if you buy a car, you can only put Shell gasoline in it. That's not the case. That's not how free enterprise works. So it's a good thing that this is coming out. Will it change whether Verizon will eventually allow me to unlock this phone? Time will tell. We'll see.
Yeah, Bruce, if you buy subsidized, that if you're buying a $700 device for, $200 on a contract, it shouldn't come unlocked. But if you buy them outright, shouldn't they come unlocked before they even leave the brick and mortar store?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I did not know, bad on me, that phone had both GSM and CDMA radios in it.
Yep, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the end result for people who are looking at phones like this, Jeff and I both happen to like the Max line from Motorola because of the battery, but we can't get the Nexus phone, the Nexus 5 on Verizon. So I didn't have that choice. Now with this law, I should be able to take any device that's capable and has the radios required for that carrier and be able to walk to any carrier and say, put my phone on your network, and it should be allowed. This is a good thing.
I don't know if that's going to be the case, though. I think it's stating that it'll unlock the phone. It's not forcing the carrier to take and allow you to have that phone on their network. Right?
The carrier you may go to say, I'm sorry, that phone is not working with our network, and that's fine. It is not the problem. We don't have the problem of the carrier saying, oh, no, you can't bring your own device. That's not the problem. The problem is the carrier saying, well, if you choose to leave, we're going to penalize you. And we're going to make it so expensive for you to leave that you can't.
Right. And that's, no, it's prohibitive. But what I'm saying is, if you bring your phone, your Nexus 5 phone, over to Verizon, even though it's unlocked, they could say, we don't accept that phone. It's not part of our network, and we don't want to support it. So we're not going to have to. We don't have to take it. So if you want to join our network, you have to use our authorized phones, even though it's unlocked. This law is just saying you have the ability to unlock your phone legally, right? That's all it's doing. Right. So it's not saying that the carrier has to take the phone.
Okay, well, let's try this one for size. What if I wanted to stay with Verizon, but I want my phone unlocked so I can remove the carrier bloatware, or I want to put a different ROM on my phone? It's my device. I should be able to operate and put software on it that I want on it. Not allow the carrier to tell me, no, we're going to make you choose between Google Maps and Verizon Navigator every time you do something with navigation.
Yeah, I think that's a different story. If it's already on that, they should be forced to unlock the phone if you own the phone. I think that the law is pretty explicit in that. So I think that would be allowed or supported. And if they don't do it, then you report them to...
Actually, I don't see it now, but when I had the T-Mobile sign up earlier, it actually had a part where it said bring your own device. So
it does.
Yeah, as long as it's GSM, right?
Yeah, the phone has to be capable of GSM. Again, you can't walk into Verizon with a GSM phone and say, here, put this on your network and I'm going to demand it. It's got to be physically capable of it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Most phones these days, Jeff, they're quad-band capable phones. My Razr Max has all the radios. It actually has 5 different radios on it, so it can be used internationally too. My phone is capable of working on any network, except for Verizon doesn't want me to go to any network, so they won't unlock my phone. The minute the president signs this law, I'm going to call Verizon up on the phone. I'm going to say, you must unlock my phone. I own it outright. And see what happens.
You'll be talking to some 18-year-old.
Probably so.
All right. Hey, guys, let's move on here. That was a good conversation. But, hey, listen, man, for a while, I don't use Facebook a lot. You guys know that. But for a while now, when I do open up Facebook from my Android device, I've been getting this little note telling me that, hey, guess what? We're moving messages. And they're wanting me to download this Messages app. Bruce, have you been experiencing this?
Yeah, I got my notification this morning about this. Not just a notification like you're showing on the screen, but I actually got an email from Facebook about that. So, I don't know. First of all, I keep chat turned off on Facebook, but I will message people sometimes if I want to send them a direct message. I'll tell you the other thing that's frustrating about this, and this other box that you have in Facebook messaging. For some reason, I was clueless about that, and I heard saw somebody else post about it. I checked on it. I had 36 messages in my other box. I finally, went through them. Some of them were really quite important. People said, "Are you the?" I had one from a lady in Mississippi. Said, "Are you the Bruce Turner who pastored in Mississippi who baptized me back in the late '70s?" She's trying to, connect. Yeah, that was me, So I answered her back, but I found the Messenger app a little annoying. I know you can turn off the notifications and make some adjustments to it, but I'm not sure that I understand they're trying to de-bloat. The Facebook app is just it's big and bloated, and they obviously have data that this could be a good idea, and the Messenger app worked fine for me. It's just I don't know if I want to go back and forth from 2 apps.
Right, flip-flopping from
yeah.
one to the other.
Bruce, you just maybe go look. I've got 64 unread messages in my other box that I
Yep.
didn't know I had.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Bruce. I'm just like you. I keep the chat turned off now because, first of all, I'm not a big Facebook user, and I don't even have notifications set to active on my phone for Facebook. Okay. But it does kind of concern me that that Facebook is kind of forcing me this way, and don't listen. I know that Facebook is big to a lot of people, and that's fine. But this isn't for me, and chances are I'm going to let this messaging go away and just use the Facebook wall, okay, on my mobile device. I just, at this point, don't see a need for a separate app to be able to do that. I'm sorry. And I really, Facebook's probably got their reasons for doing this. They've got their metrics. I'm sure it's probably going to make video chatting within Facebook a little bit easier. But it's not for me. What about you, Jeff?
It's not for me either. I don't even use Facebook mobile on my phone. Just don't even do it. I don't even want it. So I don't share that much on Facebook occasionally, but whenever I share something, I'm on my Chromebook or something like that. So I'm not a mobile Facebook kind of guy, so I wouldn't be doing this regardless. And
now, Robert, like I say, I'm looking here at your Facebook profile. I see what you had for lunch today, and by the way, quit poking me.
and he's wearing the same shirt. What's the deal with that?
Quit it.
I can tell you, I just remember when I first, my wife always gets my hand-me-down devices. When I gave her my phone and I set up her account, and I made the tragic mistake of enabling Facebook notifications on her phone. And even with the Razr Max, she complained bitterly, like, turn that damn thing off. Just make it stop, make it go away. It was ridiculous. And I took too long to do it. She actually went through the phone to figure out how to do it herself. The app is just not one that does well in mobile. I don't get it. Even avid Facebook users hate the mobile app. I don't know
Robert,
who makes it any better.
you and I got problems, my brother.
What's
Look
that?
at what I'm sharing right now. I sent you a friend request, who knows how long, and it's still showing friend request sent. You haven't even friended me on Facebook, you egg-sucking dog.
I haven't looked at Facebook in 7 months, 8 months.
It's kind of funny because Bruce mentioned the other. I'm looked at my other just at the same time. Duke looked at his, and there's an email message saying, "Hey, I need your email message from like August 2012." So, it's like, oops, darn, I never even. I don't look at. I didn't even know there was another there. To tell you the truth. So, how am I going to figure out this damn Facebook app on my phone?
Okay. All right, hey man, let's move on, guys. And real quick, I just want to mention that in a lot of states this weekend we have what's called like a tax-free weekend to help for back to school, and I just love it when tech gets in the game. And guess what, man? Best Buy ran this special that their regularly $34.95 Chromecast was going to be on sale for $29. And not to be outdone, gang, Amazon has matched them. So listen, a Chromecast is a pretty cool way to get stuff on your phone to your television set. And if you don't believe me, let go of $30 and check it out, because right now would be a good time to buy it. Bruce, you got anything to add?
I think it's a good deal. I've been thinking about getting a second one, and throw it in my go bag because I travel, I do some conventions or something like that. It'd be nice to have an extra one that I could just pop in there. But yeah, I think it's a good deal. Good for Amazon.
I bought my wife one, and right now it's actually on my TV downstairs. I was doing some tests with it. I really need to either return it to her or, I don't know, maybe order a new one from Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need another one. I do like my Chromecast, but I don't know, man. I mean, how many of these things do you really need? I mean, how many do you need? How many TV sets? Just take it out of the damn HDMI port, put it in the other TV set. How hard's that?
Well, I could argue, Jeff, that hey, you don't need a remote control. Get up when you want to change the volume or the channel. Okay, you don't need a remote control. Your TV can work without a remote control.
That is true, young man.
Throw that thing in the garbage can, Jeff.
Just throw it in the garbage. But I have so much stuff here. It's like that I don't use anyways. If I had bought another if I bought another Chromecast, what would I do? I would hook it into my PC here, so I could show stuff, off a tablet on a show like this.
But Jeff, remember, Amazon's got a great return policy. We all know how much you like to return things.
I do like to return things. Return to Sender, my favorite song.
Okay, hey, listen, man. I just thought that was a great deal, and I wanted to just quickly mention that on the show because, hey, honestly, I do agree. I think we've made a good point. How many do you need?
Right.
But if you don't have zero, you probably need one.
And I heard glasses going on sale too.
Yeah, I heard it. They're actually dropping it from $14.99 to $14.98, Jeff. What a great deal. Yeah.
Free shipping.
Fire sale. It's a fire sale.
Free shipping.
Hey, man, real quick here, guys. Who are we? Well, we are Tech and Coffee, and if I hadn't lost my bandwidth, I'd actually put a link in the chat to where you could actually go and learn more about us. But, hey, since I can't, hey, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Tech and Coffee 1, YouTube, Tech and Coffee. Hey, search Google Plus for Tech and Coffee. Look for that TNC logo. Catch our podcast on Stitcher Radio and iTunes. And, hey, let us know your favorite podcasting and app. Send it to AJ at techandcoffee.info. All right, guys, I'm going to move on into the app segment tonight. And, hey, Bruce, why don't you go first, man?
You're muted, buddy. You got
I'm
that
sorry.
mute app going on.
I try to mute in these things because I don't want any noise to automatically throw my screen up there. The Hangout switching is not as good as Zoom. But anyway, Robin is my, and she's called Robin the Siri Challenger. And it is, the thing about, I love, I've used the S Voice on the Note phone. I've really shifted. I used Google Now for setting reminders and things like that. And Google Now does a lot of things, and I'm still only scratching the surface of what Google Now will actually do. But I was watching the Twitch show, and they were talking about this program called Robin because in the audience was the developer, and it's really quite interesting. So I'll share my screen and let you see a little bit about Robin, and I'll come back on my phone. So Robin is the Siri Challenger, and it can do a lot of different things. It can give you directions and traffic alerts and find nearby food spots. One of the neat things about it is it knows when you're driving, and it'll pop up and say, "We see that you're driving. Do you want to use Robin while you're driving?" And you say yes, no, or never. But like a lot of these programs, you can ask it questions for different things. You can do weather just like you can do with S Voice and Google Now. But the other neat thing about this is this will also read your text messages aloud, and I think that's a pretty cool thing. So anyway, it works really good. It's got a little different type of a voice. Like, I brought it up right now on my phone, and it's got this little blue dot on there, and all I have to do is tap that. Now, at the top it just lets me know you can ask me to turn on flashlight. So I'll tap on the button, turn on flashlight. And
let there be light.
And let there be light. Did you hear?
Switch it off, just ask it.
Switch it off. Okay. Switch it off.
Okay, switching off the flashlight.
What's the weather in Lynchburg? Oh, I got it. What's the weather in Lynchburg, Virginia?
Okay, showing weather in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Okay, so this is no big surprise. I mean, but there's some other things that it does that's unique, like reading your text message and allowing you to, by voice, answer the text message back. So if you want to play around with yet another Siri challenger, check out Robin. She's sweet.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, Jeff, I understand you don't have an app tonight, so
Yeah.
Rob, what you got for us, man?
I have a very good app for tonight. I like to play with video and different things to do with that, and my wife and I just put in a new security system. And of course, the security system monitors our home and my office and different things. Works great. Was really pleased with it, but of course, I'm not always in my office, and I needed a mobile app to do that. So I want to demo this app, and I'm going to demo it with the understanding that it came with my system, but it is actually configurable to several different systems. So let me share my screen so that y'all can get a look at this. And the name of the app is NVMS 7000. There's a PC version, a Mac version, and an Android and iOS version. This thing is really good. Now, of course, when I'm away from my office or my home, it will monitor, and if it sees movement, it'll send me an email. But of course, I want to be able to remote in, and that's where this little Android app comes in. And I'll demo it for you. This is actually my home and my office. Now, it is moving a little bit slow because I'm sharing my screen, but it does perform really good. The cameras are configurable. You can control the resolution that you see. But let's say that I wanted to see the back patio to check on the puppy dogs. There's the puppy dog patio where they like to go and sit in the chairs all the time, and we have to shoo them out. But it works really, really well. Pops around pretty quick, and it is configurable for just about every home security camera system that is out there. It is universal. So if you have a security camera system, a DVR or NVR or an IP camera, I strongly suggest you check out NVMS 7000. It is probably better than the app that came with your DVR if you have a different app for your DVR. But again, it works really well, and it's free in the Play Store.
Can you do me a favor? Can you click on the settings?
Sure.
Where it shows how you configure? I mean, I want to just see what that looks like.
It actually gets a little bit involved with the settings, but you simply click Add in the upper right-hand corner, and it will go through. It will scan your network trying to find the device. By default, every DVR has some default settings, and it will try and find it. But if you've customized that, you can actually put in the IP address and the ports that your system will use, and it will identify it from that.
Does it use the DVR, or can it actually access the IP camera directly?
It can access the IP camera directly, but it can also access the DVR. What you're actually looking at here is my DVR. I do have an IP camera. That's what that last little spot in the lower right is actually for, but I haven't added it to my phone yet because I have to change the ports. The DVR and my IP camera happen to use the same ports, and I just haven't changed them over on this app. Again, if you have an app, a lot of people complain about the apps that come with their DVR or their IP cameras, especially with FOSCAM. They're notoriously buggy. This particular software package works extremely well. I have 3 different versions of cameras here, and they all work. out of the box, and simplified single user interface. You see me flipping through the cameras here. It just works great. It works very good, and it works well away from home too. Of course, there's a little bit of port forwarding involved on your router and static IPs and all of that, but it works very, very well. So again, the name of the software, NVMS, the Network Video Management System 7000. That's my app for this week.
Very, very good, Robert. Very good. Appreciate that. All right. Hey, guys, VOS News. Smart is the new sexy. Let me tell you, the developer of this app posted it up in the Tech and Coffee community on Google+, and I deleted it. I deleted the post because he spammed it in about 40 different G+ communities. But I did write the guy and tell him I checked out his app and that I was very impressed with it and that I was probably going to do a review. And I asked him to resubmit it by writing, a little bit about the app and his effort. And he told me that he would and that he appreciated me getting back with him and letting him know. He seemed like a really nice guy. And real quick, just let me tell you something. It's pretty light reading. It's very, very visual. And I'm just going to walk you through some of the screen captures. If you'll notice, these screen captures are from a tablet or a phone in landscape. And I'm actually going to show you what it looks like on my Nexus in portrait mode. But this is just kind of what you can expect when you open the app. It's got scrolling, and you can tailor the news a little bit. Let me just go ahead and take you over here and the product from my Nexus. In just a second. Take me just a second to get it up here. And there it is. And right social stuff there if you want to share it or favorite. But let's just say that I am more interested in, I don't know, entertainment. Okay? And basically now it's just going to pull from the various entertainment news feeds across the internet. Now there's nothing set up here to really tailor. In other words, if I really wanted to see Chromebook news in this feed, I really don't have a way to set it up. But I do like this app. It's for casual readings, just kind of headline stuff. I think this is a pretty cool app. I think it's visually, I think it's stunning. I really like it. But it's probably not as in-depth or as handy to me as, say, Pulse News is. But still yet, I would highly recommend this app. And here again, this is called VOS. And hey, guys, that's my app for this week. All right, man.
Nice.
Guys, do we have anything else before I call this, I don't know, say episode 66?
I just want to mention quickly, I was disappointed we didn't get a chance to cover this article about the Tizen phone being delayed yet again. What a disappointment. What a disappointment that.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you guys, if you want to jump on this real quick, we're still under our hour goal. So, Rob, what's your thoughts on that, really quick?
Well, we talked a lot about different carriers and different phones, and what phone makes the best pocket companion. I think anything that brings competition to the table, it's a good thing. And the Tizen phone, I thought it was going to be another game changer, but they seem to be having a bit of a hassle getting this out the door. And I guess that just goes to show that Android and iOS, are really big dogs to beat.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that comment, and again, their resources are probably stretched, and what are you going to spend time in? They're making a lot of hay in Android, right? And they are making a ton of hay, and Android is also taking their Next protocol and bringing that in, right, to their Android L. So.
Right.
Maybe Tizen's not where they want to put that all the bang for their buck. So I'm actually glad.
My opinion is that Tizen cannot come to market and be 80% ready, okay? Because let me tell you something, Android and iOS they're already ahead of the game. Both companies really, and if Tizen does not come out of the gate ready to roll, and when I say ready to roll, I'm talking about not only does it operate flawlessly, but there's actually some apps to support it, and to me, that's why we have not seen this operating system on a phone yet. Samsung probably knows that if they send it out before it's truly ready, it's not going to gain any traction and will go away in a hurry.
You mean it's going to be like Fire OS?
Worse than Fire OS. Yeah, absolutely worse than Fire OS, at least in the West.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, guys, listen, thank you guys very much. Sorry I had the technical difficulty, but Google, thank you for letting me back. Hey, listen, you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll catch you in 7, man. Peace out, everybody.